Audio should be working. Question mark. We should hear us. Chat, let me know if you can hear me. Whenever. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
You are audible.
Good. That's all I ever want to be. Like, forget everything else. Forget reliable. Forget enjoyable. Just audible. That's what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
The more audible, the better.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know there's people in chat, because we were just chatting. There we go. Oh, wait, that's Josh.
No, I checked the audio and we can hear you.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Great.
I was doing the same thing, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Anyway, welcome to the stream, everybody. This is our third session of the Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign for Dungeons & Dragons. Just as a reminder, we play every other Monday at this time, so if you missed the last two, after this one, the next one will be in 2 weeks. If you're watching right now, you're earning points, and those points can be spent on various effects for the party. You can spend points to bless a PC, grant them a healing surge, you can bless the whole party, or you can add an inspiration to our pool of inspiration. So nothing but good things for the party. Occasionally I like to throw in things to make things harder, so you can spend points to make things harder for the PCs, but I don't know. We'll see how the campaign goes. They've been doing pretty well. Maybe that might be warranted at this point, but we have Maxine with us. So we have all four of the other players, plus Maxine is here. How you doing, Max?
Good. I made it this time.
You did. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, I missed the last two, unfortunately.
But that's fine. It's good to have everybody together again. And so, when last we left our heroes... Oh, a lot has gone on in the last 2 weeks. Let's see if I can do this from memory. I didn't write up my notes. The party... having recovered from the fight against the pirate, they collected their allies who had gone overboard, as well as an enemy who had gone overboard, and brought him into their ranks, and then went ashore to the Emerald Isle, where the lighthouse is positioned. When they went ashore, they spoke to a talking bat, who introduced himself as Mr. Squeakers, and said that he was the familiar of the lighthouse keepers and that they were very interested in meeting the party. And then Mr. Squeakers was promptly chased off by an owl who did not speak until Speak with Animals was cast on the owl. And then the owl made it very clear that she is not an owl, she is a druid stuck in owl form, and that the party should not trust Mr. Squeakers or his masters, who ended up being a coven of hags. The druid informed them of a ritual that had been put in place that has been keeping her in animal form, and then also told them about some other places on the island that they should check out, as well, that she believed the hags had been interested in. The party then went and met a gold dragon wormling in the middle of the island. And the wormling was, what was his name? Her name? Mevrakir. And Mevrakir had was all too eager to ally with the players because she had been pestered by Mr. Squeakers for the last few weeks. And she hated the little guy, and she missed her druid friend, and she didn't know what happened to the druid. So they decided to assist Mevrakir, and Terpsichore got an enchanted lute from Mevrakir as well, after serenading the dragon with a little bit of her musical skills or performance talents. From there, they visited a cave underneath the island that they discovered was in use by some smugglers until one of them got killed by a giant coral snake hiding under the water. They discovered a crate full of electrum ingots, which will give them a big payout if they can find someone to sell them to. They also discovered a magic item called a messenger's bag, which they can use to send written messages to any other person who is attuned to a different messenger's bag. And they know at least one person is, like, this bag has been used to send messages back and forth to presumably the town of Saltmarsh. From there, they then went and confronted the hags at the lighthouse. And the hags thought that they were deceiving the party, and they thought that they could get Quizzy, in and separated from the rest of the group. But the party then launched not an ambush, but launched the attack, and were able to fight off the hags and defeat them. And that is where we are starting today. Is literally right after that fight. I'm going to move us to the tactical since the map is important. So y'all are in the lighthouse house. The house at the base of the lighthouse. This is the place that the hags have been using as their lair. This is previously Alana the Druid's home, and I guess now that the hags have been removed, she can live in here again. The place reeks of decay. There's humanoid bones of various sizes scattered all over the floor. And what's more important, there is a locked door on the north side of the small little room. What are you all doing?
Does she have the keys? I don't want to break down a door for someone's house someone's just watching me.
Alana does not have the keys, but upon searching the hags, you would find a set of keys.
Okay. There you go. I hand them to our druid friend.
She takes them and she's like, this is my bedroom. This is where I would sleep. She's like, I don't know why they would lock it, but she unlocks the door and then opens it and is surprised to see a halfling woman inside. She looks malnourished. She looks weak, but other than that, Maxine, do you want to describe your character?
Yeah, sure. So, Roswin Whisper Willow is a gaunt, timid-looking halfling woman with bright red hair and lots of freckles. And she looks up at the rest of you. I assume she's bound and gagged.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so she's just like, and she looks like she looks like she hasn't eaten in a while, but she also just looks sickly and kind of gangly to begin with. Very pale skin, almost like cold to the touch if you were to touch it.
All right, since no one else is moving, Quizzy will go, and this is obviously not a hag because we've counted 3 hags.
Correct.
This one isn't ugly. So yeah, well, we'll free up.
As soon as you ungag her, she's like, "You don't want to be here."
But we need supplies to repair our boat, so
Yeah,
that's why we're here.
If you come back, you're in great danger right now.
No, we already brought back the real lighthouse person. We're good.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, are you worried about these things? I point at the dead corpses outside the door.
Kind of like lean and like look over your shoulder, like.
Captain Barry is nudging one of them with its nose.
Yeah, I guess so. Still in danger, but that's one less thing to worry about.
Still in danger? Question mark? Quizzy does say question mark. Oh.
Roswin just kind of looks down and says, "Yeah, I'm here. You're in danger."
Oh,
Are you dangerous?
I hold up the gag. Should I put this back in?
No, just unbind me and I'll be on my way.
Where are you going to go? This is an island.
Do you have a boat of your own?
Oh. Well, shit.
All the boats that we have seen are unserviceable. But no, I'll unbind the new person.
Do I have any
Do you need a ride somewhere? Oh, go ahead.
Nick, do I have any of my things on me?
Not on you, but in the room that they fought the hags in is where you'd be able to find all of your personal effects.
Okay. I won't answer Quizzy. I will, as soon as I'm unbound, I'll start wandering over to the other room and looking for my stuff.
Okay. Need help with anything?
Yep, looking for my things.
The hags did keep all of your items, all of your things. They kept them in a rotting, dirty burlap sack. But other than the condition of the container, everything within seems fine. If you had rations, those are probably gone. But other than that, everything else is probably still in there.
Yeah, I just opens the rotting like ew, starts taking out like several daggers, a sword, a bow, a quiver of arrows, and it's just rooting through. Like those things don't matter. Just looking through, and then finally takes out a Taroka deck. It's like okay, thank goodness. That with her takes like her satchel that she had in the bag and like puts that on, puts the deck in her satchel.
Are you a gambler or something?
Not quite.
Well, that's mysterious.
So,
Yeah, I'd say if you were a gambler, this was not the best place for you to end up.
if I were
Us,
a gambler,
we're
pretty bad luck.
we were just on a supply run to Saltmarsh, and we got hit by some pirates, and needed repairs, and we knew that this lighthouse had some material to be able to and found a mess.
Yeah, mess is one word for it.
Nick, what do I remember about my capture?
For reasons that are up to you, you were on board another ship named the Orestes, which was sent on a resupply mission to the lighthouse a week ago. Relatively small crew. Whether you were part of the crew or a passenger, that's totally up to you. The reason, like I said, the reasons that you were on the ship are up to you. But the point is that when the ship came here to resupply, the light in the lighthouse went off before the ship could completely approach safely, and they ended up smashing on the rocks and essentially capsizing. The crew who survived came up to the lighthouse to figure out what was going on, and the hags made quick work of the crew. However, for some reason or another, they kept Roswin alive and kept her captured in the house, the lighthouse. Everyone else, you didn't see what happened to them, but you can only imagine that they met a pretty grisly fate at the hands of the hags.
Okay. Yeah, Saltmarsh. That sounds good. Dude, yeah. Is that where you're headed?
Yeah, seems like it.
I don't have very many other prospects, so, would you mind if I joined you? But also... She just looks
You're not
like...
going to try to murder us or anything, are you?
I'm not going to.
Oh, okay.
But you said You're dangerous.
Look, I've had some pretty shitty luck, okay? The last crew I sailed with ended up here. And I'm the only one who I don't see any of the rest of them, so...
Well, then
Well,
by
you
your
also don't
definition,
look all
we
that
have pretty
healthy.
shitty luck too.
Fair enough.
I was just gonna say, you don't look healthy enough to eat. I'm assuming the rest of the crew did.
Do you have food?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I make pretty good biscuits.
I am starving.
I don't make good biscuits.
I'll take anything.
Alright, Quizzy digs into her messenger bag, shoves around the bat that's in there a little bit in the trap, and Mr. Squeakers, and
Oh.
she'll pull out some snacks.
Totally forgot that Squeakers was still in the bat trap.
Yeah, in the bat trap, in the messenger bag.
I pointedly ignore that whole thing that's going on. And I immediately start munching down on whatever food you offer. And it only takes like a little bit before she looks like she's gonna gag on her food, and she gives the rest back, and she runs into the corner of the room and throws up. And it's mostly dry heaving. There's like nothing in there.
No.
Quizzy, I think your stuff went bad.
No, this is just me. Just ignore me. I'm fine. I'm all fine.
Quizzy, I
Quick,
think our
Quizzy
new friend
eats
has a
mo-
weak stomach.
Of his snacks, just to make sure.
I'm Rosman, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm Kara.
Quizzy,
Tripsickery, or Percy, if it's hard to pronounce.
There's trouble with terpsichore. He's fine.
I don't know. Some people have plenty of.
All right. All right.
Don't say it.
It's,
Some people, I don't know who would have problems pronouncing.
I'm just saying, historically, there's been some difficulty with certain parties.
In the history of this world.
It just happens to be the other person who says the name the most often.
Hypothetically, if someone were to have difficulty pronouncing it, Percy is completely acceptable.
And you would be? She points to the final person.
I'm Simon, and I point at the little dragon next to me. That's Vesk.
She just like cocks her head to the side, like, that's new. I've never seen that before. Well, if you don't mind, just dropping me off in Saltmarsh, I'll be on my way. I won't stay in your hair very long.
I don't know how quickly we're going to make it there. Like we said, we have to kind of fix our ship up a bit, but I suppose that's all right.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking out these creatures. She shudders, like shiver runs up her spine, and she I have to get out of this room, and she just starts walking out.
Is anyone attuned to the messenger's bag?
I don't think you explained that it had to be, or we ignored that you
Yeah.
had to attune to it, so I don't know that anyone did.
I think it's more the second one, but yes.
Yeah. It does require it. Okay, so
Yep.
it is in the entry.
I mean, I'm carrying it,
You're
so...
carrying it.
And we had it for our long rest, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
no,
we
no,
spent
we
the night
didn't.
on the island.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, you returned to the dragon's
Yeah.
No, you long rested before you got it. You are correct.
We have
Oh,
not.
we did.
Yeah. So it is not attuned.
Okay.
Doesn't our boat require like several days of repairs?
It would be some time. Yep.
Failed?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun times.
And the pirates will never come back to bother us.
No, that was a good spell. I think we're safe.
Famous last words.
So yeah, should we head back to the boat? Thank our lighthouse keeper. I suppose we could loot the hags, see if there's anything else worthwhile on them.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
The hags themselves don't have much, but you do see that they do have a magic item. Something you think that they either recovered it from elsewhere or got it from someone on one of these ships or whatever, but the point is they had it and kept it stowed away. Either an arcana check or the identify spell to reveal its details.
Nick, remember to add 2 inspiration or a pool.
Yes, I started us
Or
off.
wait, at the top of the session? Sorry, wait, I forget. I'm confusing your program with mine.
Right. Right.
Just spit out so much of it. All right.
14 is enough to do it, so I will share this with everybody.
Yay.
It is a hand axe of stirring crimson.
Huh.
Small point of order. I can't see anything on my screen still. It's all dark.
Really? Oh, your token has vision. Let me make sure you have ownership of your token. Roswin Whisper Willow.
I can see like the door open and some light coming in from that, but I can't see like the whole room.
Oh, got it, because you don't have dark vision and it's night. Where's our light source? Oh, Isabel is the light source. I'll just move her into the room.
That okay, that's why. All right, so I'll just move into the room with everyone.
Sure.
I can move out here because that's probably where I stepped outside.
Yeah.
Is this from Griffin's Saddlebag?
The hand axe? No, it's from the dragon book.
Oh, okay. Because they put out, I think, a hammer. That was this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, the D&D 5e dragon book, they have like 4 effects based on rarity. And so each time you go up in rarity, it gains another effect. So this would be the rare version of this
Yeah,
weapon.
this seems pretty damn good. Well, we have 2 dragon people, so I don't know.
And it does say requires attunement by dragon person.
Appropriate it. Yeah.
Kara's pretty much drooling over it, seeing Draconic on it.
Does Alana need help, like, getting the lighthouse back to, no pun intended, ship shape?
She doesn't.
Fully operational.
Yeah. She doesn't, and the fact that it had been in use to, like, lure ships in means that it isn't completely, it hasn't fallen into disrepair or anything like that. And she's been the only one on the island anyway, so she'll be able to make sure that it's all good to go. She'll also make sure that you all have what supplies she has to repair your ship. Most of the damage was to the sails, and she does have some canvas on hand, so your bosuns should be able to make those repairs.
Sweet. Well, thank you for your hospitality.
And she's like, thank you for all that you've done. She's like, as far as I'm concerned, you are always welcome here. I will always have a room for you at the very least, should you need it.
Oh, by the way, we did find some smugglers as well.
Oh,
in that one cave that you showed us. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they didn't seem like
I think we have
the
the
kind of
note.
up
We
and up
can
people
just
you would
show
like
her
on your island.
Hmm. What was
We're
that,
definitely
Ian?
not going to be
The note?
smuggling
Yeah.
anymore, though.
I think we have the smuggler's note that we can show her, right?
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the smuggler got ate by a snake. Oops. And not our snake either.
She takes a look at the note real quick and she reads it and she's like, I see. She's like, this is signed with K. Do you know who that could be?
I look at
we
Kara.
did. Yeah.
So-
chorus or something.
Last session, yeah,
Yeah.
you all surmised that it is likely to be Kelladek,
Yeah.
the wizard, the local wizard to Saltmarsh.
That's right.
She says if this Kelladek is using the island for some sort of smuggling operation, she goes, I don't know how long it's been going on, but at the very least they haven't been a problem for me. She's like, but it might be worth looking into to see if they have any plans to expand or anything. She's like, this island, as you know, has, hags aside, has dangerous inhabitants, with Mevrakir and Herbie and a couple others. She's like, I would hate for other people, to meet their end just because they wandered too far. She goes, what all did you find down there other than this note and a well-fed snake?
And a not very fed halfling.
Got a scroll. Penmanship is awful on it, though.
The summoning circle.
Yeah.
The back door to the island.
She's like, oh, that is interesting. She's like, that would explain how they've been able to come and go without my notice, at least whoever has been occupying those caves.
Don't know that we learned more than that.
Hmm.
She seems genuinely surprised about the. I guess I'll roll insight if you want.
Sure, go ahead and roll insight.
I'm doing it. Yay!
You're confident that she was not aware. She was aware that someone else was on the island, but she wasn't aware of exactly who or what their purpose was or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, for some reason, some salt marshers are using that circle to stash things here. Or were.
She's like, I try and stay out of, and the little bit that I was in Saltmarsh, I tried to stay out of the politics of the town. She goes, I don't know who or why or what they would be doing such a thing. She's like, but I have heard plenty of stories that illegal smuggling operations are not uncommon in and around the town. She's like, so it's not surprising to hear, but still caution should be taken if they're using this island.
So it's.
Well, is there a way that we can get a hold of you if we ever need to?
She goes,
Username.
she goes, I used animals on the island to send message to and from Saltmarsh. Seabirds can make the flight relatively quickly. she goes, I don't know if you have such capabilities, and she kind of looks at the capybara, and she goes, you obviously have some, but I don't have anything on hand other than that.
If only we had an animal messenger spell.
Only we had more animals than we know what to do with.
You can take it when you want. I opted for something else.
Yeah,
at least-
okay. No problem. We can figure out a way.
She's like, otherwise I'm not going anywhere. I plan to remain here at the lighthouse for as long as it need be kept, or until Saltmarsh sees reason to find a different keeper.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So we basically have to get the supplies and still fix the ship, right?
Correct, yeah. And she's giving you the supplies, like you're able to load the crates of everything onto your lifeboat and bring it back to the Devilry.
I think we're good to go.
It will be like repairing will take a little bit of time, and there is still that magic circle in the cave, which does serve as one avenue of getting to and from Saltmarsh. It's just that none of you know the spell magic circle.
That would be a barrier.
Yeah. So other than the messenger's bag, you really don't have any other, like, you know that the messenger's bag goes back to someone who is at least associated with the magic circle. So like that is an option. You could like attune to the bag and reach out to them, or you could just repair your ship and wait and get back to Saltmarsh the original
Does the
way.
bag receive messages if no one's attuned to it on our end?
So how it works is you write the name of someone else, and if that person is attuned to a messenger's bag, the message will go to their bag, whether or not it's on their person.
Okay, so like if we wrote something to Kaladek, put it in the bag, and he was attuned, then he would get it.
Correct.
Okay. So because no one knows that we're attuned to this bag, we're not going to get any messages?
And any messages that, assuming Kaladek is writing them, any messages that he writes to whoever was attuned to it before you are just going to sit in his bag and never go anywhere. Because that person is not attuned to it anymore.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yep.
Death ends attunement. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't Die Hard. You can't pick up the walkie-talkie and
Right. Right.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Okay. Well, do we need to participate in the fixing of the ship or the?
No, you don't have to. Especially with two bosons now, with the pirate you got from the other ship.
Bosun?
Double boson.
action.
What was his name again? I gotta find that. Edriff.
Number 2, I believe.
Yeah, boson 2, aka Edriff. When you return to the Devilry with the supplies, Brahm, your dwarf bosun, is excited and he hauls them up, and Edriff is right there with him, like, yeah, let's get this repaired, let's get everything. And Brahm's just like, would you settle, like, go do something else, go, you're crowding me, like, go find something else to do. Everyone is watching you come aboard with excitement, and they see Roswin in tow behind you, and they're surprised to see not only are you coming back with supplies, you're coming back with another person. You hear some mumblings among the crew as you're coming aboard about, like, oh, they found another pirate in the waters that they wanted to save, and great, another mouth that we have to worry about feeding when we're already low on coin, and stuff like that.
Roswin has her hood up and is averting her gaze and like not looking at anyone and being very timid.
Sure. I'm gonna move us back to just the general ocean map.
Oh God, we're overboard.
You're all overboard again. Roll initiative. So Brahm, begrudgingly with the help of Edrith, and along with the rest of the crew, all get to work repairing the sails. Like I said, it's going to be a few days while that happens. The captain, Captain Destrus, your Leonin captain, meets with First Mate Isabella when you have returned with her, and they discuss briefly in the captain's cabin, and then she comes out shaking her head and doesn't look too pleased about the situation. What are you all doing in the meantime? And if there's nothing, that's fine. We can fast forward to when it's repaired, but I figure if you have the opportunity.
When I have a chance, I want to talk to Isabella away from the captain, the first mate.
Sure. She, yeah, she goes below decks afterwards. And you can find her on her own down there. Actually, she's probably, like, playing Three Dragon Ante with some crew members, actually, when you find her, after she leaves the captain.
Okay. Can I talk to you for a second? Ship's business?
And she looks up and she's like, that's fine, I wasn't winning anyway.
Do you remember our conversation on the way to the island about the captain and acting weird? And I said I might have something to tell you about later.
She's like, I do? Is later now?
I think, yeah, I think if I don't tell you now, it might be too late. I might be making it sound worse than it, but I still have my bag that has the what is it, adamantinium spear in it or whatever it is.
Yes, the spear with the adamantium head.
Yeah,
Yep.
I will make sure. I will try to look around and make sure no one's looking. I don't know.
Go ahead and roll me perception.
Okay. I particularly want to make sure, obviously, the captain's not around, and also, shoot, who was it? Who the first mate was saying was kind of acting different along with the captain?
That would be Holton.
Okay, those are the two I'm specifically going to make sure. You said perception?
Yep.
That's not.
That's not advantage.
That's just 5.
Okay. Coast is clear, Simon.
Yep, it sure is.
Okay.
I will kind of, as far as I know, very cautiously kind of open up the bag and show her what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I found this down in the hold shortly. Well, I didn't so much as find it, but shortly before we were attacked by pirates, the captain kind of checking on the cargo, and I thought it was weird, and this is what was there. And as far as I know, we're not supposed to be shipping.
And she looks in and she's like, and she sees the spear. She doesn't take it out, but she sees the spear and can tell that it has an adamantine head on it. And she's like, you found this in the cargo hold? I'm assuming there were others?
Yeah, there was a whole crate full or barrel full in there. I just took one because proof of it, but the rest are still down there as far as I know.
She's like, what would the captain have need of adamantine weapons for? She's like, that is odd. She's like, have you spoken to the captain about any of this?
No, I don't know. Something just fell off, and I felt like if I talked to him about it, I don't know if I'd get any straight answers. But I figured you've been on the ship longer, you know the captain better than I do, so I'll tell you, and you might know what to do with this information.
She's like, the captain's been hard to come by lately. Something's been eating away at him. She's like, I can tell. I've served with him long enough. I know when he's dealing with something. She goes, I might have had a desire to approach it with more care before. She's like, but it's been too long now. I'm tired of all this sneaking around and all of this. She's like, come with me. And she starts heading back up to the captain's cabin.
Okay. I will follow, and I'll try to lock eyes with my party member and kind of give them a look like something might be going down. So,
Mhm.
but I will follow.
You showed the spear to other people,
I
right?
did, yeah.
Okay.
I showed it. Yeah.
Do I know what you're? Yes. Okay. I tail you.
Anyone else?
Seeing this going down, Kara is going to just make sure she is nearby, and I'm going to activate my my telepathy.
Ah,
So need to actually roll to see how far it works. Okay, so I have I'm able to read the minds and have telepathy of anybody within 60 feet.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say that you're able to get everybody, the whole party at least.
Yep.
Are you including me?
Ooh, good question.
You're only looking at me.
The
And you
first
did
halfling,
say you
yes.
were dangerous, so
I did
basically, so it's not like group telepathy where everybody can hear everybody else.
Right.
It's I can hear people and I can send messages and receive them.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm going to include you.
Okay.
say that. All right.
It's not a group chat.
No. This is just the basic class feature. This is not that
Yeah,
big a deal.
It's Josh running 6 separate DMs is what it is. Okay, so Isabel is leading Simon back up above decks, and it's one of those situations where as they're going, they keep collecting more and more people as the rest of the party file in behind them. And she gets outside the captain's cabin, and she turns around and looks and sees everyone gathered there, including the new halfling. And she's like, well, all right, time to make a statement, I guess. And she pushes open the door to the cabin and walks in. And Destrus is sitting there. He's sitting behind his desk. He's got a map, a coastal map of the area around Saltmarsh and the islands and everything. And he's kind of poring over it. And you see that he's not wearing like his leather armor or anything like that. He's just got his shirt on and it's open down to the chest. And you see that there's an amulet hanging from his neck as well. And he looks up and he kind of glances at everyone and he sees Isabel. And then he sees a party of the 6 adventurers come in behind her. The 5 adventurers, excuse me, come in behind her. And she closes the door behind everybody. And he's like, well, all right, what's this about then? And his right hand goes down below the top of the desk.
Sus.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling the police.
He's hitting the alarm button, yeah.
First off, since I'm in his head,
Hmm.
am I picking up any? Since it would just be like surface level stuff, am I picking up any oh shit or I'm gonna kill these people or anything like that?
You can tell that he is concerned for his life. He's afraid that you're gonna get him. Is kind of where he's at.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. With that knowledge, I'll give you the opportunity to do something before Isabel continues the scene, if you wish. If you don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah, I will share this with everybody. Send out a thought to everybody.
Sure. So then that onus goes to everybody.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's gonna be okay. Like we just want to talk.
And he has this
I'm
moment.
gonna-
Oh.
Yeah, whatever. This is basically mutiny already. I'm just gonna like twang on the lute, I think, and I just say explain.
Got it.
Yeah.
And it's a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Okay.
First mutiny of the campaign. The tally markup.
Yeah, it's going on our permanent record.
Destrus appears just as his art shows. He has a patch over his left eye, and his right eye twitches a bit after Terpsichore. See, I don't know who has a problem pronouncing that case. I said it right, Terpsichore.
Okay. All right, I must have been thinking of someone else.
After Percy plucks on the lute, the captain's eye twitches a bit, and he's like, "Coin's been hard to come by. Jobs aren't paying as well. And the jobs that do pay well mean we're sailing the pirate-infested waters." He's like, if a smuggling job comes up to deliver weapons to a cache on the island for someone else to pick up, he's like, I take it, and I only include those I know I can trust, and then we're splitting the coin in fewer ways. And then he blinks. You presume he blinks. You can't see one of his eye. He could be winking. But his eye closes rapidly, open and close. And he's like, he has this moment where he's like, what treachery is this, using magic on me on my own ship?
Yes, but
Hear us out.
yeah, trust is hard to come by, apparently.
Trust but
And if you
verify.
And if you can't trust your crew, and if the crew can't trust their captain, I didn't really have, I didn't really practice this. I just coming up here. And,
Isabel's like looking between you and
you have a plant like this. You are technically like the ranking officer here. So like, what?
She's
Am I
like,
in trouble?
she's like, no, you've saved me a few steps, and she reaches a hand towards Simon, basically asking for the spear.
I'll hand it over.
Okay. She takes it and she slams it on Captain's desk. And she's careful not to slam it head first so as not to critical hit his desk. Goes straight. Because she's smart. She knows what an adamantine weapon does. It's an automatic crit against objects. But she's like, she goes, what's the meaning of, she's like, why are we delivering weapons? Who gave you the job, and where are we supposed to deliver them to? And he's like, the job came from a contact in Saltmarsh, and we're to deliver them to the lighthouse. He's like, I don't know who's supposed to pick them up. I don't know what the deal is beyond that, beyond our involvement. And she's like, how much were you supposed to split between you and whatever other crew members you convinced to go along with this? And he leans back in his chair, and his one good eye glances from Isabel one by one to look at everyone else in the room. And let me actually look at his wisdom, because he failed that save. But is it a good wisdom? How wise is this guy? He's okay. All right. He lifts both hands up and leans on the desk. You can see both of his hands, like he clasps them together on top of the desk. And he's like, we were to be paid 2,000 gold, and it was going to be split 4 ways. And she's like, and who were the other 3? And he shakes his head. He's like, you found me out, and this is my failing. I won't reveal their identities.
I understand what you say about times being hard and taking on smuggling is not ideal, but I understand it. But you realize that transporting weapons of this kind for unknown people to be given to another set of unknown people might put your entire crew in danger, let alone what they might be doing with these weapons.
He shrugs and he's like, I saw an opportunity and I took it. He's like, I've been captain of the Devilry for 3 years. We've never hit times as hard as this. I was forced to make a decision.
Okay, seems legit to me. Anybody else?
I look over like, what? I kind of look over at the first mate.
Yep.
It's your call what to do here. We're just.
And she looks at the rest of you and she's like, we have that note from the cave.
I mean, yeah, but I don't. We do.
She's like, can I see it?
Sure.
Okay. She takes it and she opens it up and looks at it real quick, and then she shows it to Destrus, and she's like, who's K? She's like, is that who we think it is? And he looks at it and he's like, yeah, that would be Kelladek. I know that he is involved. I don't think he is the one at the top, but he's involved in this. And she nods. And she goes, and you don't know who these are supposed to go to. She's like, the crew brings up a good point. Delivering weapons like this to someone we don't know, we could be arming our enemies. Destrick shrugs and he's like, who's our allies and who are our enemies in this regard?
I thought that pirates may have also caught wind of this, which might be why we were attacked.
He's like, that maybe. And then you see it like kind of settle in on him. And he's like, oh, gods. He's like, that may be.
Are the rest of the weapons still on the ship, or did you transport them to the island while we were?
He's like, you all, once the Devilry was rendered more or less inoperable, he's like, I started to think about alternate ways that I could complete this job. He's like, but you all went ashore and came back in shorter order than I expected, given the nature of the island. And he's like, speaking of, what is the nature of the island? Is this still a safe position for this operation?
Safe is a strong word.
He's like, I see. He's like, was there anyone in the cave? Did you meet anyone in the cave? He's like, that's the person who was supposed to pay me.
Well, there's a dead guy in the cave.
No one alive.
He was dead when you arrived.
Yeah.
It's like, very
Yeah,
well.
We just killed hags. They were kind of incidental, it seems.
He's like, hags? Well, then, I am grateful that you went ashore before I did.
I assume I'm not present.
You can be if you want to be. Like, you got the word from Kara, and you saw everyone go into the captain's cabin, so it's up to you.
Okay. So I followed behind. I'm like far behind the mass of people,
Mm-hmm.
and
Probably back by the door to the
not
cabin.
yeah, probably not even visible given how tiny I am.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Oh, okay, sure. After a moment, if none of the five assembled there address Destrus, then Isabel steps forward.
What was his question? Oh, did we meet anyone?
Yeah, he asked if you met anyone, and then you told him that the guy you saw was already dead, and he was like, well, that was the guy who was supposed to pay me. But Isabel will step forward. If I'm just saying, like, if no one else is, like, has anything they want to say, Isabel's basically going to continue the scene.
He said something like, I'm glad you went in before...
Yeah. Oh, there were hags? I'm glad you went ashore before me.
I think Rosman, under her breath, is like, you're lucky you didn't go in at all.
Isabel steps forward, and she's like, I want to avoid causing a scene with the crew. She's like, as far as they're concerned, you will still be captain until we return to Saltmarsh. She's like, but once we return to Saltmarsh, I'm turning you over to the council. And then she pauses for a minute and thinks. And she goes, no, strike that. When we return to Saltmarsh, you're going to get us in contact with the person who gave you this job. And he's like, you're going to keep me on as a contact for the smuggling operation? And she's like, no, we're going to cut you loose, but you're going to get us in contact with the person who's making these calls. And then she turns around and looks at the 5 of you, and she's like, are there any objections to this?
Seems fair.
When do we eat?
Wait, so you want to smuggle now?
She's like, I want to know what our options are. She's like, as despicable of a move as it was, the captain isn't wrong. Times are tough. She's like, if we have an opportunity to involve the whole crew in something like this that earns us extra coin, I think it's worth considering.
He was supposed to be paid 2,000 gold, and they only had, a lot less than that on the island. We might be dealing with people that are, let's just, not be overwilling to get involved, maybe.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Get shit on?
Whew! Get shit on! She's like... Isabel nods. And she's like, that is a fair point. She goes, but... And she kind of glances back at Destris and then back to you, and she goes, we may not have found coin on the island, but we did find items of value. She's like, we have that crate of electrum with us.
That's what I mean. That was only worth 1,200 gold, and if he's saying he's going to get paid 2,000,
right,
then it looks like they were already ripping him off.
Got it.
That was my point.
I see.
Yeah.
So then she says, she's like, that's a fair point. Getting full value from those already would be hard enough. Unlikely we'd find someone who would pay over.
Yeah. So now we're seeking to become smugglers more, but we already have 2 contraband items, I guess.
She's like, well, what would you propose that we do with these 2 contraband items? She's like, if we turn them into the council, we will get the devilry will lose the ship.
Yes.
Who's to say that we found them on the ship?
You're proposing that we claim we found them on the island?
Or on one of the other shipwrecks.
We
there
found
were shipwrecks.
some on the island.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
What was the name of the ship that I came in?
The Orestes.
You can say you found it on the Orestes.
Yeah.
And Isabel's kind of nodding as she's working through it in her head. Go ahead if you have more to say.
No, that seems to be all of the important bits.
Sure. She's like, that might work. She's like, if we claim to have recovered all of this from the island, spears included, and we turn them over to the council, she's like, that might be good enough to maintain our freedom. She goes, very well. When we put into Saltmarsh, we'll seek out Ida Oland, one of the nobles, a trustworthy one as far as I'm concerned, and we'll make her aware of what we recovered.
Sounds good.
She's like, there's still one matter, though, and she turns back and looks at Destrus, and she's like, if we turn him over to the authorities, he could squeal on us.
We did just discuss our entire plan.
Right in front of him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fine.
I don't know.
It would still look worse on him. He's
Prisoner's dilemma
He's
is
the
to always
act-
confess, right?
acting captain.
Yeah. Captain's dilemma is always confess.
He says, "Oh no, this was stuff on my ship."
Yeah. Yeah. What would it get him? Right now, like, I don't know. Maybe we grow our conspiracy once we put back to port. I don't think we need to make any decisions here.
She's like, that's wise. We have time. She's like, we have time to think. Once repairs are done, it'll still be the better part of a day to get back to Saltmarsh. So she's like, very well. And she looks at Destrus and she goes, I'll remain in here. And the rest of you, I guess, take your rest and enjoy being back aboard the ship and off that island.
You say he's wearing a magic amulet. Oh, well, can I tell what it does?
I didn't say it was magical, but
Or, yeah, oh, it's just an amulet.
With-
I guess
that's fine.
I'm trying to peer at it, see if it's like a communication thing or something.
Um,
It doesn't look like anything.
with that Arcana check, you can tell that it's magical, but without like a what is it? It's not sense magic. What's it called?
Detect.
Detect. Without detect magic, you
Identify.
or identify, either of those. Without either identify or detect magic, you can't tell more other than it has magic on it.
Well, I don't have those, so
Okay.
all right. I just wanted to make sure that like he wasn't just conveying the entire. Well, I guess I don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
So, since I'm in his head, am I hearing anything actively thought about that?
About-
Obviously, I can't read his mind completely.
Right. No, all of his all of his attention and thoughts are focused on you all.
I assumed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else that any of y'all want to do or say to Isabel or Captain Destrus?
No.
Okay.
Not personally.
Okay. Professionally?
I think this reflects very poorly on the transport operation.
Yeah.
I will be leaving a 1-star on Fantasy Yelp.
All right. So with that being the case, then I think we'll take our break here. So we'll be gone for about 10 to 15 minutes. And when we come back, you all can talk about how you want to deliberate how you want to handle this situation going forward, and also any RP that you want to do on the ship. But yeah, otherwise we will BRB and we'll see you all chat in the next 10-15 minutes.
Yep. Pictures back. Oh, that's
Word.
you saying that. Mhm.
I'm gonna hang out in the cave and just study the circle. Yeah. No, I thought I would study it from here. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the island and yeah, I just kind of want to try to understand the circle more and be prepared for once I do have the ability to open it up. You know, that sort of thing.
No.
You know what? I might go with, if only just to drop off an ingot with my new dragon friend.
I have one of the spears. Cool. Yeah, it was an even 11, officer. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, nothing really in particular. Well, I think Vesk wants me to play some other gambling this to help kickstart his horde. No.
Hell yes. No. I
That
want to
would be
watch this. I want
awesome
to
if
watch
it
this though.
was. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Yep, I will mark 2 gold.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I did it twice, but eh. Yeah. Nope.
It's like fifth level or
Well,
something.
what?
Oh.
What's the name of the spell? Pull up my spell list. Because yes, I will have access to it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, Quincy will fill in all the awesome details of our exploits against the hag. And I'll show him squeakers too to show that I still got him. I'll shake the messenger bag a little bit, hear him squeak a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
It was more Jersey, yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. That's awesome. Oh, I'm sad I did.
Okay. No, not yet.
Can I play too? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. This sounds like it's novice night, so.
Yeah. Very tempted to do sleight of hand, but Simon doesn't want to risk going against expected behavior of the dragon.
Sure.
Chad says there's an audio issue.
Yep, I think I just got it taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Chat, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
That is the 16 for my roll.
Okay, and Case?
It's just an intelligence check.
Yeah, unless you're proficient with 3 Dragon Ante, it's just straight in int.
No. And then cheating was made a sleight of hand.
Correct.
I think I'm a morally upstanding.
There you go.
Thanks, lady. No bonuses. I'm gonna use an inspiration though.
Oh, okay. So we're down to 3.
Oh God.
I didn't even see.
That was
I
a good use of an
clicked
inspiration.
away. 4 and 7. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Alrighty.
Let me adjust our inspiration down.
All right. Well, now that we got the loss out of the way,
Okay, and then I'm gonna roll for this.
we just have to roll better than them, right?
Okay, Simon, you win a total of 10 gold, 2 of which came from Percy.
Well,
Awesome.
Our gold.
it's collaborative.
At least a couple of the gold coins I'll give to Vask, who will like fly away and hide them somewhere. I have no. Somewhere on the ship.
One of the crew members you're playing with is Craxus, the Dragonborn deck wizard of the Devilry. Craxus is he actually kind of looks a little relieved when he loses, and he's like, I would have felt real bad taking gold from the people who saved our ship and not only that, but fished me and Brahm out of the water. He's like, but I can tell that you're new to the game. Can I give you some pointers?
Sure.
Craxus will take the next, 10, 20 minutes or so to like explain what he has learned about 3 Dragon Ante. Tells you about when to hold, when to bluff, like what to look for in the opponent's hands and stuff like that. And he's like, he's like, should we try it again, see if you learned anything? And he's like, we don't have to go for coin this time. This round will just be for fun.
I mean, what would be the point of the list, then, right?
Oh. He's like, oh, so you want to go for coin?
Yeah, I'm in an adventuresome mood.
He's like, okay. He's like, 2 gold again?
Sure, I got some extra gold.
Yeah.
I'll use the 2 gold that was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Specifically those 2 coins.
Yep. All right, so you 3 put in your 2 gold again. I'll take checks from you 2 again.
Inspiration.
Okay.
Why are you wasting all our inspiration?
Oh my god! 11s across the board.
Surely that has to be a winning hand.
I
somehow.
know, that's 3 of a kind, right?
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, so I guess I'll treat the inspiration roll as being higher than the naked roll, even though there's no reason. Anyway, Percy, you barely squeak out a victory. So you earn 4 gold. Well, you earn 6 gold because you paid.
Oh my god.
But you paid 2.
Wow. I'm in the money.
You're in the money. Craxus is.
2 back.
Yeah, you got your 2 back.
Completely broke even. Other than the 2 inspiration.
Other than the inspiration, yeah, but you can't put a price on inspiration.
You really can't. Plus, I
I
got the lesson in the camaraderie.
exactly.
That's the real value.
I can put a price on inspiration though. If you're watching right now, you're earning points, and I think for 3,000 points, you can add an inspiration to our swiftly dwindling pool.
Oh, as soon as we take a rest, that's gonna pop right back up.
Since you beat Craxus in this second game, what the hell? I'm gonna give both of you proficiency in 3 Dragon Ante.
Holy shit!
Yeah!
Wow.
You know how to play the game now.
I know what I'm gonna be doing every down.
While they're playing 3 Dragon Ante, off in a corner of the room, I am doing a Taroka reading for myself.
Ooh, I like that.
Just kind of like very quietly, still with the hood up.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of ignoring the rest of the crew and kind of keeping her distance from people in general.
Sure.
And she pulls the traitor, and then the thief, and then the charlatan. And she shakes her head, and then she puts the cards back in her deck and does another reading.
Oh, that'll erase it. It's like an Etch-a-Sketch.
As Roswin is doing that, you get the sense that you're kind of focused on what you're doing, but then you get the sense that someone is watching you, and you look up and you see the dwarf, the bosun, Brahmas, is nearby, and he's watching you do that, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you."
Pretty much always have the feeling I'm being watched, so when I raise my head and I notice that it's an actual person and not something else, you see a wave of relief wash over her. And she says, hello. Did you want a reading?
He's like, well, I don't really believe in this sort of thing. I don't think there's much, but I mean, what's the harm, I guess? And then he sits down and he pulls a necklace out from under his shirt, and you see it's got like 3 different like little trinkets on it, and he kisses each one, and then he throws it over his shoulder, and then he like rubs his hands together and smooths his hair back. He's like, "All right, I think I'm ready."
All right. What question would you like to ask of the cards?
What, I guess I've never done this. What sort of question should I ask?
You can ask whatever question you like. You can ask for advice, for guidance. You could ask for questions related to your past, your present, your future, or you can simply receive some guidance about what you should do going forward with your day.
Yeah, okay. Given all that's happened on the Devilry in the last 2 days, will Craxus and I have to seek other employment?
So I'll start pulling cards.
Mhm.
I'm doing a very short, simple reading.
Mhm.
But while I'm doing this, can I make an insight check?
Certainly.
Sure.
Ooh.
17.
So, you can tell that Brahm is concerned about his future on the Devilry, as the bosun. You can tell that there's guilt behind his question. Now you haven't been here for the events that probably, like, the other players probably know what I'm referencing because that's from the first session, but Roswin wasn't here for that. So you can tell that there's guilt behind his question. There's a little bit of fear and trepidation. But you can also tell that there's a genuine concern for Craxus's well-being as well, the Dragonborn.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do a genuine reading. I'm going to use sleight of hand to pull the cards that would give a reading that would assuage his fears a little bit.
I like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to test your sleight of hand check against his perception check.
Okay, let's do it. How about an 18?
All right, describe your reading for me.
Sure. So she pulls, let's see. She pulls the swashbuckler card, and she says, let's see. You know what? I'm not gonna do the reading card by card. That's
Sure.
gonna be really difficult for me right now.
No, that's fine.
But she'll pull a couple cards that basically show how the ship is undergoing a change, a sort of change in fortune, a change in winds, unforeseen consequences, and the coming of unexpected things with the transmuter card. And then how the second card is describing how that's going to bring with it an influx of fortune and wealth. But the third card is going to represent the danger that comes with.
Okay.
So not like a super positive reading, but definitely like, you know, like you'll be okay if you stick with us. Basically, is the
Got it.
is the gist of it.
Brahm watches the reading. His eyes are fixated on Roswin's hands and the cards as they're being revealed. And he's like, he kind of nods a little bit, and he goes, "Well, I appreciate the sentiment, but could you give me a real reading?"
She just laughs and says, "Are you sure you want a real one? They're not always so fortuitous."
And he's like, Well, then can I ask a different question?
Sure.
Will Craxus be okay?
Okay. And this time I'll do a real reading.
Mhm.
I won't try to cheat or anything.
Sure.
I don't know how you want to represent this.
I mean, you could roll a die. You could, like, how if you could, if you want to come up with one on the spot, that's fine too. Like, whatever you want to do.
Let me just do like a simple one card reading.
Sure.
How do I roll a D100 in roll 20?
So on the left-hand side in your toolbar, there's a D20 symbol. If you click that, it opens up your dice roller. There you go.
Okay. Huh. So she pulls the monk card,
Ooh.
and she describes, she says, and who is Caraxus to you?
Well, he saved my life. He's just a friend. He's a close friend.
The monk card represents inner strength, self-reliance, and confidence. I believe this means if he remains steadfast and confident in his abilities and relies on his own power, he'll be okay.
Brom nods and he goes, I see. Thank you. If Craxus asks about any of this, don't tell him that I asked.
I will not.
All right. Okay. All right. So a little bit of time has passed. The two of you who went ashore, unless you have other things you want to do ashore, Quizzy and Kara, are you returning to the Devilry?
Yep.
Yep. After playing fetch with my capybara. Yep.
I imagine it's a very slow game of fetch. I don't know how fast capybaras move, but I imagine
They
there's
can get pretty quick.
Yeah. All right. So you all return to the Devilry. The repairs have finished, and the ship is ready to make way for Saltmarsh again, to head out to Saltmarsh. So I'm going to move us along to the Saltmarsh map. Finally, halfway, a little over halfway through session 3, we are getting to the titular town of Saltmarsh.
There's salt, there's marsh.
Yeah, everything you want.
The ghost.
I'll say that's a better record than Baldur's Gate 3. So.
That's fair. All right, so who am I missing here? I'm missing Roswin.
Missing me.
Yep, there we go. The town of Saltmarsh, despite the map being oriented in this direction, the town of Saltmarsh is on the southern coast. So on this map, north is to the left.
Well, that's just confusing.
Which is great, I know. But that is how it goes. The town is, it's modestly sized. It's definitely not a city. And you all have some familiarity with the town of Saltmarsh. You know that right now the big conflict that's plaguing the town is like this. It's kind of on the cusp of, will it maintain its independence, which it has largely benefited from, or it's largely had its own independence. The council has been free to kind of govern the town how they wish. Or will the sovereign crown of Evanon, the realm to which Saltmarsh belongs, will they exert more control, more influence over the town, which they've shown interest in doing lately. You all know that the Saltmarsh Council has 5 members, all of whom are nobles. 2 of them are people who have lived in the town their whole lives. Ida, Oland, and Gellan Primewater, both of whom speak and act and are generally behave in a way that shows that they have the interest of the fishermen at heart. The original people of Saltmarsh. 2 of the counselors are in place because the crown put them in place. And these are Eleander Fireborn. He is a veteran of Evanon's military force. He's a soldier, a former soldier. And Manistrad Copperlocks. I'll put all these names in chat too. But Manistrad is a dwarf woman who leads the dwarven mining interests in the town, which are relatively new. The kingdom, there's been reports of silver veins along the coastal cliffs, And the kingdom has been like, well, if there's silver, we should have access to it. And so they sent Monastrad and a bunch of dwarven miners to Saltmarsh to continue that operation. And then the fifth one is largely kind of seen as a neutral party, maybe a bit of a wild card. He's a young man. His mother was someone who supported Saltmarsh, and she died, and so he inherited her shipping company and her fleet of transport ships. But he has a reputation in town as being easily swayed by whoever can just talk him up and impress him in the moment. That's Anders Solmore. So I'm going to go ahead and put their names in here. We've got the traditionalists are Ida and Gellan. The loyalists are Eleander and Monastrad. And then the independent Anders. Those five are responsible for governing the town. They've done a decent job so far, but they always kind of butt heads and come into conflict over matters of like, well, okay, is this something that the kingdom should be involved in? Is this something the crown should be involved in? Is this something that the Saltmarsh, that town can govern itself on, that sort of thing. The Devilry is an independent ship. So it wasn't owned. It's not owned by Anders Solmore and his fleet. It's not owned by Gellan Primewater and his modest fleet of ships. It has largely been operating independently and has been benefiting from Saltmarsh's independence. One thing that you all know is that if the crown did have more of an influence in here, you can kind of expect taxes to go up. You can expect that on whatever you're making or selling or bringing into port or trying to take out of port, you're going to get taxed on that even more than you currently are. How that feels to you all, that's up to you individually, obviously. But generally, independent crews like that of the Devilry don't like that. So the Devilry pulls into port in Saltmarsh. It finds an open pier, and the longshoremen on the pier start helping to unload, to check in on repairs as needed. Isabel and Captain Destrus emerge from the cabin, and Destrus is quiet, which largely is not uncharacteristic of him, as Isabel oversees the docking and the situation of getting everything handled. And in kind of the hubbub, the commotion of the crew unloading what they need to, tying up the ship, she approaches you all. Probably Simon first, and if anyone else is around Simon, she would include them as well. But she basically asks, like, do we have an idea what we want to do with Captain Destrus?
That's a good question. We probably should have been discussing that. Trip.
If
I'm
we
a little busy with card games.
If we want to rewind a little bit and give you the opportunity to discuss that before putting into port, I'm happy to, because you would have had the opportunity to do that. If also you want to run with the idea that, no, we were just playing cards and eating biscuits and just totally forgetting about, I'm fine, whichever direction you want to take it.
No, I think we probably at some point we would have gathered like on the deck and like, what are we gonna do when we get to port?
Yeah. Okay. Then feel free to have that conversation now.
So in Simon's mind, I flash back to that conversation. So what should we do when we get into with this whole captain situation?
Apologies if it was clarified, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
When you say that the crown is basically trying to impose more control over the city,
mm-hmm.
What does it actually look like? Is it like they're taxing, they're garrisoning troops? What are they actually doing to the city?
The biggest thing right now, there's two sides of it, and each one is represented by one of the crown's council members. Monastrad wants the silver mines. She's here to exploit the silver mines. And that's something that she has brought in a lot of dwarven miners from outside of Saltmarsh to do that. This is work that, there are miners in Saltmarsh. This is work that they used to do, but at the Crown's insistence, she has brought in people from outside the town to do this instead. The other one is Eleander Fireborn. He seems most interested, and it's very public, this interest. He is very interested in cracking down on smuggling, on rooting out. It's kind of like the unspoken truth of Saltmarsh is that it is a hive of smuggling. No one really talks about it, but everyone kind of knows and understands that smuggling ships move in and out of Saltmarsh all the time. The port plays haven to this sort of thing. And Eleander has not a vested interest, but he has a very public interest in putting a stop to that. Because if stuff's getting smuggled out, that's, taxation and that stuff that the crown is missing out on, and materials and goods and arms and armor that the crown probably doesn't want traded out. So those are their two primary interests.
Okay, so they're both monetary concerns. Okay, that's not necessarily about the conversation about what to do with the captain.
Sure.
Rewinding back to rewinding back to this flashback conversation.
Yeah. Well, I think the options that I remember the first mate going through were either turning in the captain to the council, or like using the captain as a contact for the smugglers. Essentially, that doesn't mean those are the only options, but those are the options she gave. Speaking as Simon, I'm not necessarily interested in getting in the smuggling business. But another option, like, I am curious, I guess, of who hired for these spears in the first place and who they were supposed to get to, and the captain might be able to lead us to that information.
Real quick before we go any further, Simon, can you do me a favor and roll me a history check?
Yep. Second. History. How good? I take it back.
Okay.
9.
Thank you. No new information to add. Continue as you were.
Okay.
That bodes well. Well, I don't have much of a dog in this fight. You brought me to Saltmarsh, and I'm extremely appreciative of that. I will. I suppose I can just be on my way.
Now, how do we know that you're not part of this smuggling ring? I mean, you were on the island.
Do I look like I was part of that smuggling ring?
What do people in a smuggling ring look like?
Yeah, Well, off you go then, I guess.
Well,
I mean, like, I can't detain you.
Right.
Well, at the time we're having this conversation, we're still on the ship. So,
yes, still at sea, particularly. Like, you haven't put into town yet. So.
That's
okay.
fair.
I mean,
Roswell just leaps off the boat.
This is my stop.
It does seem like following up on the captain's contact gives us the most information versus just turning him over, especially if there's like a contingent of authority in the town that's virulently anti-smuggling or whatever. Like, I don't think we want to just send him to his death or whatever, right? I don't think that would sit well with at least myself. And, you know, if there is some sort of there's a lot of unknown unknowns.
I don't really have a dog in this race, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the bigger question: are we gonna keep working on the? Oh God, I'm blanking. What's our ship called?
The Devilry.
Devilry.
The Devilry. After this.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know,
some
as
of us
long as
are
they keep
paying off
paying.
our fare.
I mean, I don't want to cause any problems.
Kind of late for
He's
that.
learned his lesson. I think we're good to go, right? Right?
Has he?
He's cool.
What did he learn?
I don't know. That dealing
Well, you
with
said it.
bad
Surely
stuff
you
with
had something in
pirates-
mind.
Yeah. Yeah. The pirates came because of that, right? So yeah.
I mean,
He looked guilty. Learned his lesson, right? We can forgive.
what lesson? What you twice? What is the lesson?
He always looks guilty.
Don't deal with smuggling, or pirates are gonna eat you, and the hags will steal from you. Yeah.
I mean, if we turn the captain in, it's kind of done. It's over. We don't have to worry about it. But I guess we'll never find out probably what was really going on.
I think at some point in your life, you just have to make peace with what you know and you're gonna learn and what you won't. And it's like that's where we are in our lives.
It's hard to argue with that logic.
No, it's like there's this grand adventure in front of you, and you just I don't know if I want that.
I just want to play my lute in the bar at Saltmarsh. That's what I want to do.
I mean, it's like
Simon looks at everyone just like, you are very philosophical.
I don't know, just kind of like dust in the wind, you know, right? It's like
I just what harm was he doing? Do we know? Because if he wasn't doing any real harm, then why should we get him in trouble?
I mean, he doesn't actually know who he was delivering to, so very possibly he could have just been arming more, brigands or whatever, which is arguably a net negative for the region.
Now, if we don't turn him in, was he gonna keep being the captain of the Devilry?
Oh, is Isabella with us?
Or was she gonna take over no matter what?
You, from the conversation that you had when you confronted Destrus, you get the sense that Isabel planned to take over the Devilry. Like, it was a mutiny, it just wasn't a violent one.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine then. I mean, I guess the only thing is if we don't turn him in, I've known men like him.
Oh?
Well, I guess I don't know him, but he strikes me as people I've... But I get the sense he's a survivor.
You guys say lots of stuff.
I say a lot of stuff. Were you just giving a whole philosophical treatise on our moral obligations?
Was I?
You kind of were.
Quizzy, do you have any more biscuits?
Maybe we
Sure,
should
I made
just let...
this batch. I made this batch this morning. Check it out. They probably taste horrible, but
He strikes me as the kind of person who would do whatever it takes to survive,
Exactly.
which is something that I can understand.
So what does that make you want to
Yeah.
do with him then?
Who, me?
Yeah, if you understand him.
I've only met the man for the last 2 days. I don't know. I did a reading, but all it revealed was unsavory business transactions that you already know about.
Mm.
I don't think his crimes are anything more than I would have done. Apologies if that puts me in a bad light.
No. I mean, in my tribe, we did what we needed to survive, and your tribes are different. So, who am I to judge you?
Tribe?
Oh, sorry. I haven't been outside much. My people we tend to be like individual clans, and we mostly stick to ourselves. We don't really have a central government of any kind, so yeah, I'm just trying to equate what you guys do to what I grew up with, at least as much as I can.
That sounds nice. I don't have anything like that anymore.
Well, I grew up in a knightly academy, so most was provided for me. I surely don't know what you all are talking about, but I can sympathize.
Sympathize, not empathize. A crucial difference.
Should we let our new captain decide? Seems like not really equipped to make judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What if she wants to get into the smuggling game? Because it seems like she was interested.
She did.
Well, I guess we can let her decide in Saltmarsh.
Okay.
Okay, flash forward. Back to our conversation. Yeah, we were talking it over on the ship, and we decided.
Oh, we forgot to tell you. Yeah, you're actually in charge of that. Captain.
It was a really deep conversation.
Also, everyone go ahead and take a long rest, too, for the voyage back.
Yeah.
So Isabel nods. She's like, well, all right. She's like, very well. I'm going to go and converse with the captain and get a sense for who it was that hired him and how we can get in contact with them. She's like, that is still of my interest. She's like, I trust you and your companions. She's like, your presence on the Devilry has been a great boon to us. She's like, I would request that you continue that partnership. But she's like, well, you know what I'm considering. If that's not in your interest, she's like, then I would regret to see you part ways with us.
Yeah. All right, let's see how your plan goes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You've convinced me.
As long as you're upfront with us, there may be some lines we don't want to cross, but we'll figure that out once you know more.
She's like, trust me, I will endeavor to include the entire crew, and that includes you all if you choose it to be, in any operation that we undertake. She's like, I won't make the same mistake that Destrus made. Nice. Good job, Quizzy. Also, I suppose it hasn't really been discussed up to this point, but the other magic items that you all found that require attunement, let's see what that is, what those are, rather. The Amulet of Health, the Hand Axe, the Lute, we know who that's going to, or rather that one's already attuned. Yeah, and then there's the two other items that don't require attunement, but that are... I mean, you found the spell scroll of see invisibility, and you found the silver raven figurine. So do we know who's going to be claiming those? Or?
That's basically our animal messenger is the silver raven, right?
I already have see invisibility, so anybody else can take that scroll.
I'll hold on to it. Sure.
Okay.
So we get another 2 inspiration, and
Yes.
six total bodies get 8 temp HP if you join me in a collaborative dance number at the end of the rest. Anyone wants to put together a little arrangement? Yeah,
I will.
It's gotta be inspiring. So
I will take performance checks from everyone seeking to.
no, I mean it just happens.
No, I know. I just want to see how well everyone performs.
See how well I can dance.
I am down for that.
Oh my god, numbers. Where are my numbers?
I desperately need 8 temp HP, but I desperately want to avoid a performance test.
Oh, not bad.
I'll join in. Yep, that's what I thought.
It's okay, we'll get there.
Persuasion.
Every morning,
Perfect.
every morning, a couple times a day. We'll get there.
Still fully cloaked and hooded, just going like.
Are you like showing us the choreography?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I'm doing like Tai Chi, and then it just kind of like turns into, like just this little number, and it's like you can, if you want to join in, you'll be a little invigorated. So it's just a little incentive.
All right, I think that's our 5 though for the 8 temp HP. Kara, Simon, Roswin, Quizzy, and Barry. Okay. The hand axe, just for my own notes. Who is anyone attuning to that?
I think you said you
yeah.
were interested, right, Josh?
Unless somebody else, I mean, it would just be a backup weapon for me. So if somebody actually could get more use out of it, Kara will happily hand it over.
Is hand axe finesse weapon? No, it is
Nope.
not.
Nope.
Then I'm not.
I mean, it would. Yeah, it might be. I might be interested in it. It deals the
Go
same
for it.
damage and gets the magic bonus as well. So
Yeah,
It's pretty
absolutely take it. It is.
I'm holding out for
good. It does more damage because it's got fire damage too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
well, no, it's still 2d6.
Oh, yeah.
Half of it is fire. Yeah.
And then
Never fight a troll or
You are a heavy weapon user.
But yeah, I can now have a shield, so that makes me happier.
nice. And the Amulet of Health.
Ooh, me.
Once we know our halfling is actually, going to need that.
I I'm a little torn because I also feel like a huge portion of my character's like shtick is being a 5-con character,
Yeah.
and I'm worried that if I take the Amulet of Health, that like that whole shtick will be gone.
I totally get it.
So
But
proposal.
also, I wasn't there for any of this, so I feel like I would feel awkward taking anything that
Sure.
you guys found. So
Currently, I am attuned to it, but
Okay.
yeah.
Proposal.
'Cause-
If yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, I was gonna say like, have it be broken retroactively, like
Ooh.
like there's that damaged headband of intellect from that little indie game Baldur's Gate 3. Like it's not as good as like the printed item or whatever. So it's like,
Sure.
oh, maybe it to start. It's like Roswin wears it and it's like it only gives you like +1 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a little. But that's also a legacy item, and I'm philosophically opposed.
The thing that you were very vocal in not having.
You removed from your campaign. Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's your
going
character.
from
I agree.
messages
It is a little
to
cheesy.
messages is wild.
I mean, to be totally honest, it's one of my favorite magic items to just throw at a party. And I totally forgot that we had a character with -2 con. So in my head, I was like, oh, that'll be, -3. So in my head, I was like, it'll be like, yeah, this is a fun thing to see who wants to, like, are they going to give it to the tank or are they going to give it to, and then afterwards, when you guys were talking about it, I was like, oh my god, of course, why did I forget about the rogue with 5 constitution, or 4 or whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm open to like implementing Case's suggestion and saying that it needs some sort of repair or recharge or something like that. I'm also open to just like you guys do with it as you will.
I'm up for whatever. I would feel a little awkward taking it at its full strength right
Yeah,
now.
sure.
Given that like my character's backstory involves being like on death's bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, why don't I keep it for now, and when we feel it is dramatically appropriate, it can be handed off.
Mm-hmm.
That could work. Yeah.
Okay.
Once Roswin fails 2 death saves, that's when it's like maybe she needs this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the conversation starts.
My other thought was if you try to give it to me, for some reason it just doesn't work on me.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Ooh.
I like that.
Because I
That's
do have
fun.
a mysterious sickness
Mm-hmm.
is like my thing. So
I like that. I'm fine either
Yeah.
direction.
okay, let's go with that, but let's have you keep it for now.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, you only just met me. You wouldn't give me a magic item.
I don't know.
I don't know. Kara is
Maybe.
for having now 20 intelligence. I am also pretty dumb.
Extremely trusting.
20 intelligence, but 9 wisdom.
There
Pretty
you go.
much.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so the devilry, the crew is unloading it, and as that is happening, and there's a lot of activity on the pier of Saltmarsh there, a man looks to be 50s, 60s, gray hair, larger build, broad shoulders, and walking with a bit of a limp. He has a cane. And he's followed by 3 armed guards of the town of Saltmarsh. They all approach the pier. And he stands at it. And those of you who have been in Saltmarsh before, which is basically all of you, would recognize him as Eleander Fireborn, as one of the council members who was taken part of the council at the behest of the crown, of the sovereign rule of the realm of Evanon. He looks up and he's like, "Devilry, can your captain step forward, please?" And there's this moment where Destrus and Isabel kind of glance at each other. And the crew also all stops and turns and looks like, oh, what's going on? This is atypical. And Isabel steps forward. And there's this murmuring amongst the crew around you all as they see that. And she's like, "I'm the captain. What business is this, counselor?" And Eleander is like, "I'm told that it should be a Captain Destrous of the Devilry. Have positions changed while at sea?" And Isabel just nods. She's like, "They have." She's like, "But trust me when I say that things have been amicable and there have been no violence or things of any other untoward nature." And Eleander kind of glances at everyone and he nods. He's like, "Very well." He's like, I've reason to believe that your ship should be searched." He's like, "We've gotten foul reports of efforts and other ships that have used the Emerald Isle of late." He's like, it would be in our interest to search your cargo hold before it is all emptied." And Isabel is like, "Well, we did a supply run." She's like, "We were hired by the council for such a job." She's like, "If you're looking for contraband," she's like, you're only wasting your time. You best look elsewhere." And Eleander is about to talk, and then you hear another voice, a third voice, cut in from behind him. Tall man, looks to be 60s, 70s, dressed very fine. He's wearing very nice clothing, a hat with a big feather in it, very ostentatious. And he's like, "Hold, Eleander," and he walks forward, and you all recognize this man to be Gellan Primewater. And he's like, "The change of captains was my call." He's like, I reached out to the Devilry while I was at sea, and we discussed a concerning situation that they had at the Emerald Isle." He's like, "The Devilry is now under my ownership. Isabel is my captain." He's like, "And if you want to search the cargo hold, you have to go through me, and that means you need written permission signed by the council members." And Eleander glances between Isabel and Gellan, and he's like, and then he looks to you all, and he's like, "Is this true?"
Don't ask me. I just work here.
What did he ask?
He's asking if it's true that the Devilry is now under the ownership of Gellan Primewater, and that Gellan requested Isabel take over as captain.
Can I make an insight check on Gellan to see what his intentions are?
You can make an insight check, yes.
Okay.
Zynga.
You are sensing a hostility between Gellan and Eleander. You know, it seems like you detect a history of them kind of picking fights like this against each other, of them getting in each other's way. You know what I mean? So like when Gellan shows up, you probably saw like Eleander roll his eyes and maybe his shoulders slump a little bit. Like, of course, this jackass is here now. As far as Gellan's intentions, you don't know exactly what his intentions are. You just know that he doesn't want Eleander to search your ship for whatever reason that is.
Yeah, on the one hand, he's kind of saving our ass, but on the other hand, he is interposing.
Right.
Gellan is one of the independent saltwater.
Yes.
Saltmarsh. Okay, contingent.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, because the loyalist versus traditionalist. Not as descriptive. Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Trying to think about how to phrase it. I will just say, I trust Captain Isabel, so whatever she says happen.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Simon, actually.
Ooh, pulling his collar and everything.
Oh boy. Yep, he actually says it.
Ooh. Eleander just stares at Simon for a moment, and then his eyes narrow a little bit, and Simon, you get the sense that he's considering more than just the words you said. And then he glances briefly at Vesk, at your wormling companion. And then after a moment he kind of blinks and he looks at Percy and Kara and Quizzy and he's like, "Does he speak for all of you?"
Quizzy was playing with his capybara, so all of this is went over Quizzy's head.
Okay.
Like, did we know who owned the ship when we were on it?
You knew it to be an independent ship. As in owned by Destrus.
Owned by Destrus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, a lot of help he is.
I just say, like I said, I just work here. I don't know. I don't know any of the politics.
Maybe it's over hasty for, a deckhand to claim otherwise, but from our understanding, we were operating under licensure from what's his name? Mr. Water?
Primewater?
Yeah. So I don't think that he literally owns our ship. Though perhaps the captain could clarify, turning to Isabella.
Mm-hmm. Roll me a deception check, please.
You got it.
And I went ahead and grabbed tokens for Gellan and Eleander. Oh! 28!
One of my expertise.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Eleander looks up at Percy and nods, and then he looks at Isabel, and Isabel just kind of shrugs, and she's like, it has been said. She goes, if you have any further questions, she's like, and she nods at Gellan. She's like, you can take it up with him. And Gellan just smiles at Eleander, and he's like, I look forward to reading over your request for search, and deciding then if it is worth my signature. Eleander just shrugs, and without another word, turns around and takes the 3 guards with him, and they leave. And then Gellan turns around and looks up at the 5 of you, plus Isabel, and plus Destrus. And his eyes actually settle on Destrus, and he's like, Destrus, we have some matters to talk about, and I think it would behoove you to include your new captain in these discussions. And then he looks at Percy and at Simon as the two who spoke up with some authority. And he's like...
is that what you call it?
Well, spoke up with an effort for more than...
Yeah.
No, I guess Percy did also just kind of go, it's Isabel's call. So anyway, he looks up at the 5 of you, and he's like, is this a discussion for everybody? And Isabel turns and looks at you all, and she's like, if it would win your partnership, you are welcome to join.
Yes.
Seems prudent. We've gotten stuck in a lot of this stuff so far, so might as well keep getting involved.
I want to be in the room where it happens.
Is food involved?
Rosman just shrugs. better than working the streets, I guess.
Isabel's like, that's the spirit. And so then Gellan takes you all plus Isabel and Destris to his mansion, which is right on the water, actually.
Wow.
In fact, you are basically right there. The big blue roofed mansion right on the water between those two docks. One of those docks is his private dock. He leads you all in there. You enter into this large foyer with vaulted ceilings and go down a short hallway and into a very lavish dining room. And he sits you all down, and he has a butler and a maid who are both waiting on them, and they come in, and he's like, oh, just something to drink, just some light refreshments. And so then after a little bit, they come in with glasses for everybody, and they pour some wine, and then a tray of, I am reticent to say biscuits, but that is the only thing that is coming to mind currently, and gee, I wonder why. But sure, of some biscuits, but way fresher ones than what you have had on the ship. Sorry, Quizzy. Ian.
Oh no. Quizzy thinks he can bake. He cannot bake.
Right. Okay. Simon, your next roll is blessed. Thank you, Stinkbug Roly Poly 100. So Gellan motions for you all to sit, and then he sits at the head of the table, and one side of the room is all tall windows that look out over the water. And Destris kind of glances back and forth and sits down. And Gellan is like, I received word from my associate in Saltmarsh that the situation at the Emerald Isle might need some looking into. And he's like, and of course, I'm not surprised that some sort of word also reached Eleander in this regard. He goes, suffice it to say that I'm going to go ahead and assume the job that you were sent to the Emerald Isle to complete was not completed. And then he looks directly at Destris. And Destris kind of just nods. He's like, that's correct. And he's like, I feel like it is improper for me to call you captain now, considering what I assume has befallen at sea. He's like, terrible business, a mutiny. He's like, nice to see there was no bloodshed at the very least. But, Captain, did I not warn you against excluding members of your crew from such a deal? He's like, I was concerned that something like this would happen. And Destris nods. He's like, you did? He's like, very well. He goes, Destris, why don't you wait for us in the sitting room across the hall? I'll make sure that your needs are seen to. It won't be long, I'm sure. And Destris looks around briefly and then gets up and leaves. And not until he's out of the room and the doors are closed behind him does Gellan talk again. And he looks at Isabel. He goes, well, congratulations, Captain. You found yourself in charge of the devilry. He's like, the ship is not mine. That was a lie, as you well know. He's like, but now in the eyes of Eleander Fireborn it is. And so your next decision should be one that you make wisely. He goes, I can continue to supply the devilry with jobs that pay well and jobs that require a fair bit of discretion if you do a better job than your previous captain did at ensuring the ship delivers. And he kind of motions. He's like, you've brought what I can only assume is a collection of your crew whose opinions you trust. He's like, do any of you have any questions for me before I await your answer?
I'm not really part of the crew. I mean, I guess if they're okay with me tagging, I mean, I guess
Yeah, I'm not with them.
Not even supposed to be here today.
she literally trails off and is like, I'll just I'll just.
He's like, if that's the case, then I would. He's like, if you have no interest in being part of these proceedings, then I would just simply ask that you go and wait with Mr. Destrus.
I find present company more pleasant.
And he's like, very well, welcome aboard.
I understand in these types of situations, usually questions are discouraged, but you did directly ask us if we have questions. So, with that in mind, who were those spears meant for?
He's like, cutting right to the heart of the matter. He's like, I admire that. He's like, you're not keen to make a deal unless you know every side of it. Those spears were intended for a commune of Yuan-ti out of the Dunwater Swamp. That commune fears that that war is upon it. They are looking at gaining allies where they can. Saltmarsh has proven to be, well, let's just say, uncertain of Yuan-ti loyalties in the past, but I see an opportunity, and if they're correct, I worry that if they are ill-equipped for such a war, that it would only bring about problems down the road for our town.
A war with who exactly?
He's like, that I don't know. I only know that it is a threat from the sea itself. He's like, some of our some reports have claimed that there's an increase in Sahagin activity along the coast. He's like, I'm not sure if that is related or not, but that seems to be the only lead that we have at this point. And Case, you can decide if that is your commune or not. Like if you're originally from.
I was gonna say it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because that would be a weird thing to not know about, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or it could be a recent development that you weren't around for.
I think I'm from elsewhere on the continent.
Okay.
I think I was supposed to be pretty far from home. Yeah, I'm deciding at least in the moment.
I like that. That's fine.
From now on, I am far from home. So yeah, I don't know them.
Sure.
But the skepticism towards the perceived loyalty, I guess, does not sit well with me. Although it does seem like the crown is throwing its weight around different towns and just kind of like I don't know what the term would be. I mean, it's not eminent domain or whatever, but it's like if the crown is trying to take over just like local mines and shipping operations and stuff, then it's just kind of like, it's not that it ain't right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like eyes are on me, even if they're not literally on. But they're. I'm sure they wouldn't claim something as incendiary as an imminent war being upon them if they did not have some sort of well-founded fear. Just speaking from my own upbringing.
Gellan nods. He's like, that was my read on the situation as well. He's like, and to be entirely forthcoming, your presence on the crew of the Devilry presents us with a unique opportunity. He's like, none of my sailors will so easily or willingly approach the commune at Dunwater. He's like, but having a Yuan-ti, you could provide us with a diplomatic liaison, someone who could go to Dunwater and get the full story, as it were. He's like, having word from you about the situation there directly to the council, he's like, that would allow us to take what is currently seen as as a criminal activity, and maybe then change it so that it is instead preventing an all-out war.
I mean, that's if perception falls on their activity favorably, but at the worst case scenario, you kind of are just sponsoring them to protect the realm and then take the blame for their smuggling, which I guess they would deserve because they are doing it. But that aside, you know, it kind of leaves you a pretty clean, plausible deniability, I guess you would call it.
And he's like, well, you're very observant, I'll give you that. He's like, I wouldn't...
I think we can go and legitimize your concerns with regard to the attack, but I think we need our own considerations met. You know, you're not going to cut us loose if it's inconvenient, in the eyes of the rest of the council.
He's like, so you're saying if I were to hire the devilry publicly and above table to go to Dunwater on a diplomatic mission, that would suffice, that would be enough to quell your concerns? Which, of course, would mean if I'm hiring the devilry, I would first have to grant it its independence again, which, in the eyes of the council, currently it does not have. But, of course, I'm not actually taking over ownership of the devilry. That would be absurd.
Looking around the mansion, I think you could afford it.
He's like, I could. He's like, if that's what it would take, I would happily grant you that.
If you were to publicly grant us this independence, would that just sick Eleander on us again?
It might.
To that question, what is going to happen to all those spears on our ship that are just sitting there right now?
Well, -1, the ones across all the other ones, though.
He's like, those spears were meant for the Yuan-ti at Dunwater. If you are undertaking a diplomatic mission to Dunwater, then delivery of those spears, I mean, you're already there, you have them. If not, if you would prefer to not continue to carry such items on the ship after already coming under the scrutiny of Eleander, he's like, I can arrange to have those removed, and we can put some time between this business and their delivery, and I can assign that to a different crew, a different ship. He's like, that is, of course, assuming that you are interested in taking the diplomatic mission as a contract.
I'm not opposed to it personally, but...
I like making friends.
Nicer than what I've been through recently.
You keep
I
intimating
definitely
things, but I don't know what you're talking about. Does anyone know what she's talking about?
Think about where you found me.
Yeah, everything is uphill from there.
Exactly.
I definitely would prefer official diplomatic mission over
Yeah, other
the
than
clandestine
being this dude's
armed
gutter
shipping.
rats.
Yeah.
He's like, and if a diplomatic mission and the Devilry's continued independence is sought after, he's like, would the ship be open to other contracts that might come across my desk, which I feel you and your crew might be best suited for?
We're not officers, but we're doing all the talking for. Yeah, I mean, like.
Isabel's stuffing her face with biscuits, and she's like, "Oh,
Hold on. Yeah, should it meet the standards of the captain?
mhm.
Sure.
And he's like, very well. He's like, if that's the case, I have one such contract immediately, that I would request be met with some measure of punctuality. It's simple. Doesn't even require the devilry to leave port. It just requires people who are willing to get their hands dirty in a less than ideal location.
Why does everyone keep calling us shady?
Simon is like rubbing his temples at this point.
He's like, I assure you. He's like, I assure
I
you.
just got here. Yeah, okay.
There's nothing untoward about this. If someone such as Eleander were to come questioning as to your activities, you can answer him truthfully and you can present him with the contract, and I assure you that it will be shipshape. He's like, the problem is not that I need people who are willing to act in a clandestine manner. The problem is that I need people who are willing to put themselves in harm's way.
So what's the job exactly?
There's a ruined tower just west of town along the coast. It was previously known as the Tower of Xenopus, and it was at one point occupied by a wizard. The wizard disappeared, and over the last 2 centuries, the tower has fallen and crumbled into disrepair. There's little more than the foundation and the basement that exist. However, its location and its basement's open connection to coastal waters would prove an ideal location for us to move some of our operation out of the town of Saltmarsh and out from Eleander's Nose and into a place that is a little further removed. He's like, however, I am told that there are inhabitants in this tower, not people to my knowledge, but dangerous creatures of a sort, what would need to be removed.
Any hags?
To my knowledge, no, but you would understand if I'm not keeping a direct eye on the inhabitants of the tower at all times.
Sure.
I think we can.
If we find that the people at the tower are not a threat,
Then I would request that you find a different way to get them to vacate the tower, and that violence is not used.
all right.
That's good. That would be my preference.
Mm-hmm. He's like, the method and means I leave up to you all. Just know that Eleander understands how private contracts work, and he would know that if violence did befall someone that did not deserve it, I could not defend you in that case. Discretion would be wise.
Our specialty.
I think that seems reasonable enough.
Very good. He's like, I'll have the contract drafted up, and I would expect signatures on it. And he looks at Isabel. He's like, again, with the devilry not being needed directly, Captain Isabel, as far as I'm concerned, you need not worry about it. And she's like, very well. And he goes, and once that is done and behind us, then we can talk about what else is needed to secure the mission to Dunwater. Then he stands up and he goes, you're free to he's like, if you wouldn't mind just waiting, I will have that contract brought up. Shouldn't be too long. And then he turns and leaves the room.
As soon as he leaves, I start eating biscuits.
Quizzy has like crumbs all over his face. And after he leaves, he turns to Kara and says, "What is what was that he said?
Discretion.
Discrepancy? Discretion? What does that mean?
She says with a mouthful of biscuit.
Means not being as overt as we have been so far.
Overt?
Don't get caught.
I take it that's something that this group struggles with.
We haven't really had to test it so far, but at least from what I have seen of this particular crew, none of us are masters of subtlety.
I like to think the whole time I was having that conversation that Quizzy was in my ear just munching on.
Are you sure you want me tagging along?
Do you want to tag along?
I don't have a lot of other choices. And I'm kind of sick of what my life has been the last few months, so this seems like a nice change of pace. But yeah.
Yeah, come along. Happy to have company.
In my experience, if you come across a chance to change your circumstances, just grab hold of it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
She mutters something very quietly under her breath.
After
He doesn't notice eating.
After a moment, Gellan returns, and he lays out the contract on the table and sets an ink bottle and a quill. And he's like, there we have it. He's like, I'm sure you will find it to be pretty standard fare for an independent contract of this nature. He's like, but like I said, everything is above table, and you should expect that you won't get any problems from Eleander regarding this.
Does the contract look legit? I don't know.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure.
I'll also look it over.
Sure. Hey. Wow.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Damn.
Ow.
Okay. All three of you inspecting the contract agree that it is as Gellan says. There's nothing really written in there that, like, he uses a lot of obviously flowery language, but there's nothing really in there that you believe would put you at a disadvantage and get him, like, basically everything and you nothing should anything go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It very clearly outlines the request, what would be considered a complete job, which is getting the tower empty of inhabitants. And you're not fooling anybody, Quizzy.
Just biscuit crumbs all over the contract.
And it also matches what he said about like if something happens that the council would be concerned about, he can't necessarily, like, it's very clear that, like, your method and your means are your choice and that's your responsibility. So
I'll sign it then.
okay.
Out of character, are there any penalties for us not completing the contract?
Ooh, like not completing it? What would Gellan have on there? No, there's not. He requests that it be completed in the next week. But outside of that, like, it just basically says that, like, if it is not completed within a 10-day, then he is free to give this contract to another party, and you forfeit all payment from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the payment, most importantly, the payment on there is 300 gold a head.
Mm-hmm.
We have lots of pets with heads.
golden
It's
Rosalind's
true.
ever had in her entire life.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Squeakers has a head too.
His counts. His counts. So Simon signs it.
Rosalind looks at the payment and signs it. Like, her eyes bulge a little bit, and she's like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sheriff Sickery signs
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
Kara seems to read it multiple times before she signs it, but she will.
Sure.
Yeah, Quizzy's oil-covered hands from the biscuits will just slap his
Oily
hand down on the.
biscuits?
Yeah. You haven't had biscuits that are oily?
No. No. Is this like a Minnesota
They're
thing?
they're
Like
they're fish biscuits.
fish
They're
biscuits?
Fish
Yeah.
biscuits.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
"Ew."
I was thinking like the butter. The butter.
Oh, it could be that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, point of
Yeah.
note, Saltmarsh. You basically there is a fish smell everywhere in the town. Like this whole town reeks of fish. So
Fun.
yeah.
It was implied.
As you all are signing it, you hear Simon. You hear this like scampering of claws on tile, and you see Vesk come running in, and he's got a gold candlestick in his mouth, and he's all excited about a gold candlestick, and he's trying to give it to Simon, like, "Hey, put this away too."
I assume it's very obvious. So
Let me roll. Let's roll a d6. Gellan does not notice. He's busy, like he's looking over the contract and checking the signatures and nodding with pleasure at like, yes, all right, I got this job taken care of.
I will try to hide it away in my bag, not just from
my
him,
God.
but from my entire party.
Okay,
knowing that I'm doing it.
I'll take a sleight of hand check. If you didn't spend your bless on your last roll, spend it now.
Oh, yeah.
That roll's already been done and resolved, so.
Takes me up to 17.
I believe that is higher than anyone's passive perception, and you also believe that Gellan has not noticed you.
Okay.
So add a solid gold candlestick to your to your inventory.
I'm gonna need to keep separate track of vests.
All right. And I think with that, that's where we will call it for the night. So when we meet again in 2 weeks, you all will have basically a week of downtime, or however much downtime as you want, but you have that job to the tower.
Wait until the last.
Wait until the
6 hours.
last, yeah. All right. Well, it takes an hour to get there, so yeah, let's give ourselves 2 hours. Yeah. So, but anyway, you have the tower mission, but you also have some time. Like it's not immediate. However, you want to spend that time in the meantime. Thanks so much for joining us, chat. Those of you who stuck around, thanks for cashing in for that bless. And thank you to the new follows and the new sub that we got. That was awesome. I'm gonna try and do a D&D related stream on our off weeks for like an hour or two, maybe just like campaign prep related to this campaign. So you guys, you hear my players, don't watch.
Okay.
But it would be fun to get something going on the off week. I don't have as much time as I do these nights, but even like I said, like an hour or something would be fun. So, but otherwise, barring that, we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.